Welcome to another exciting episode of Double D's Let's Talk About It, the podcast that touches on all your football information from the NFL to college. We are your hosts, Damian, Deshaun, and D of D's Corner. What's going on, brother? How you
What's
doing
up,
today?
bro? What's up, bro? I'm good. I'm good,
What's
man. How
up?
you doing?
Oh, I'm
You
feeling
know,
good,
got
man. It's
wild my
Friday,
head, but
Friday. It's Friday, man. Got a nice weekend set up and planned, and just
oh,
gonna
tailgating, right?
enjoy that. Yeah, tailgate,
Tailgating.
spring game tailgate, all you can eat, which I ain't gonna eat
Ooh.
much,
Yeah, I was
but
like, you
uh,
can't
but,
eat a
but
lot
bring
no
it.
more.
No, I can't eat a lot no more. But bringing two that can,
Yeah.
they're gonna baby.
Oh, they gonna put it away too.
Oh
They can
yeah,
put
they're
it
gonna put
away.
it away.
They
So
can put
we're
it away.
gonna enjoy ourselves there. Spend that day doing that with the boys, and that's our setup. And then I set up something Sunday. Probably get out here in this yard, man. Do some things, do some cleaning out there. But what
I
about
just
you,
got the
man? What you
pool.
got
I just finished getting the pool and stuff situated. Them kids gonna be in that water and leave me alone.
for pass them out? They gonna
They be
pass out,
alone.
man.
Heck yeah, let that
Uh,
sun drain them out.
yeah, man. Well, touch, man. Something that I'm gonna bring up to you, then, that we didn't talk about offline is we did discuss it in our previous show, man. The transfer portal and things that are going on. This
Mhm.
is truly a wild time, and it was something that we mentioned in a previous show that I had said about how it's not acknowledged about coaches who are pushing certain players out as far as to get numbers. And
Mhm.
it was something, I don't have the video, but I had saw it this morning, and they were asking Dion, and Dion was very blunt in how he said it when they asked him about the players that they were losing at Colorado. And Dion was very nonchalant and basically, or very straightforward actually, in how he said, who we losing,
Right.
and they was like backups, And
Yeah.
I believe we talked to me, we talked about it, we discussed it,
Yeah. 'Cause I
but
sent you the Cromartie,
yeah,
the McLean.
the Kamani McLean, yeah, and I had knew about it, and it's a lot to that, and I think I mentioned to you, we talked about it was a X Twitter Spaces that kind of
Yeah.
went viral over that, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of that was taken out of context because I know a few people, one person in particular that was in that space, that's in a group chat and things with me, and the entire space it was taken out of context. So it's one of them situations where they take a snippet and they take a part, and then they basically expound and make that the whole context of the conversation, and it wasn't.
Right.
You hear a bunch of people jawing or yelling or saying this or saying that, and that wasn't the gist of things. But to get to that conversation, I'm not going to even touch too much on it because I understand the transfer portal, understanding the transfer portal, and then following recruiting, the nature of college, and watching the shifts over the decades. This just another shift that people either gonna have to get with or get ran over by.
That's
It
it.
just
That's
happens.
all it is.
Um, but I'm not gonna say too much on it. I would just say that the whole Kamani situation, it's just he's a young kid. Um, Feeling his way, finding his way. It is some things that you a little bit more structure will help in that area for him to have to demonstrate here. You don't want to see a kid not win in those
Right.
situations, but you also don't want to see them self-sabotage themselves.
Exactly.
You talking about a guy who's 6'3", he's only 170 pounds, but as a freshman, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's time to develop. And I just look at it as, okay, it's not potential wasted because he's so young. But
Yeah.
man, we've all been in that spot and made mistakes. So I say that to anybody watching, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Any of those who judge that situation, you have a right to your opinion, but we
I don't
all
even know
been
the
young.
situation. I didn't even read it all. I just
Okay,
saw he was transferring.
he had been suspended, from what I understand. He'd been suspended, and then he had went on his IG and he
Mhm.
was smoking in the club while suspended. And he's in this, and from what I had read, apparently he's been in Houston, he's been back in Florida, just living, partying, you know. Yeah,
Being young.
not totally part, but out on the club scene, and it's the look appearance of, especially since you've been suspended,
Yeah.
and there's been accusations or little things about practice habits, those kind of
I did see some
meeting habits, stuff like that.
film on Coach Prime on the
Yeah.
minute on the Amazon.
Mhm.
But I mean, you got to think with him, he is how we spoke about those coaches who can't get with it.
Mhm.
Got that old mentality, but he can get with the new school.
Mhm.
With the new school stuff, he can get with the flash and all that and all that stuff. He got a great his Junior does good on great on his social media stuff. So he's always viral. He's always going somewhere. He's not, but I think he'd be straight up as a coach. I want dog, but I want a dog is a player who's this ain't it for me. Making it to college ain't it for me. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. So I mean, young kids, you do stupid stuff. Stay off the phones, man. Y'all do it.
Yeah. That's you do you what is it, the old term, man, in the song? I do my dirt all by my lonely.
Yeah,
You know, it's
why you
some
telling
things,
on yourself?
some of these lyrics in these songs, man, be just the truth. Do your dirt
Just
all
like
by your lonely, never get high off your own supply, all of this stuff.
old school stuff. But like I was talking to one of my homeboys, and like you see all these teachers, and I don't know when the last one because it ain't like I look for it, but you see all these women teachers sleeping with these male students, and the dudes are telling, man, they be like, D, what would you do? What would you have did if you was smashing a teacher? Y'all niggas would have known until we were grown. Y'all would have known. I'd have been passing. I tell you that much.
Man, that man ain't did a single lick of homework. How the hell he get valedictorian?
Mind your business.
Mind
your business. Boy, and I'm telling, I swear I would, man. But I already talked to you though. Like, if I get in trouble, I'm gonna get in trouble on me. Like, I'm not getting in trouble on you. And I guess that's these kids' mentality now. But they're like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah, is.
You gotta relax.
That is
man.
One of the negatives of certain things with technology and social media is that you kids got to stay off these phones, man. Everything ain't got to be for show.
Everything, right? It's okay for people not to know what you got going on.
Yeah, what did it say? Another lyric: "Real G's move in silence like lasagna." I'm like, what are we doing here, man? Y'all got to start being quiet about some of these things that y'all doing out here. Even though you kids, I get it. I mean, I wonder what our generation would have been like if social media was where it was or existed. Even in mine, I'm like, when I was a teenager, we had cell phones, but they were medium to big, and you still had pagers. So,
see, when I was a teenager. So I think that's when they had the razors and all that, but we had snakes. I had snakes, just the block snakes. So I mean, but see, even so, like how I was in school before we jump into the draft, all I ever wore was athletic stuff. That's really all I would still wear. Like that's what I'm comfortable with. So like I remember 10th grade, 11th grade, maybe I was in a lit class, and I had on some sweatpants, and I had we used to wear basketball shorts under our clothes. So I had basketball shorts on. I'm sitting down. Everything I did, like I did to where the teacher got to be up on me to see what I'm doing. So like if I would cheat on a test, I would have a note card. I would unzip my pants and had a note card on my lap.
Man, so wow, man.
No, listen. So I had my best friend Berto. He was in my 10th grade lit class. He was like, nigga, how you keep passing, bro? Miss Rogers used to let me, like, she used to give me Def Comedy Jam. She was like, I guess y'all didn't study. Go ahead, Davey. And I'll be up there cracking jokes on people, bro. But when I would cheat in her class, I would put a note card on my lap with my zipper undone. So I'd be like this right here taking the test, right? She'll walk up, she'll be like, I guess I shouldn't get too close. The camera got blurred. She'll be like, what are you doing? And I would knock it into my shorts with my elbow. And I'd be like, man, this doggone zipper. She'd be like, boy. Hey, she would. And the time I was looking down, she thought I was fooling with my zipper. But when I was in lit class, I think my 11th grade year, I was I was like this on my phone, and the teacher was like, "Put that phone away." So I just put my hands in my pants. And I was like, "I don't got no phone. I'm just got my hands right here." And she was like, "Let me see." So what I did was I reached my phone and put it in my basketball shorts that was under me. She was like, "Let me see." So I pulled my hands out. She was like, "Pull out your pocket." pulled out my pocket, had the principal come in. I'm like, God, I feel like a drug dealer. Still walked out with my phone though. That's what I say. I didn't get. I wasn't the perfect kid. I just didn't get in a lot of trouble.
I got you.
I
I
took a
got you, buddy.
calculated risk. So, but these
Invested
kids
risk,
nowadays,
man.
I don't know that I would be trying to show everything that I'm doing. I still like to. Hey,
Privacy.
what you got going on over there? Mind
Yeah.
your business.
Business.
Mind
Sometimes
your
you
business.
value that privacy, man. Protect your
Yeah.
privacy. Even if you out here and you doing, I ain't talking about doing so much criminal element. I ain't talking about that, but I'm
Whatever
talking
you
about,
doing. Whatever
yeah,
you
but
doing.
as I'm talking about in the frame of mind of the kids, the young
Oh, okay,
players,
okay.
stuff like that. Because I was 18, sneaking in the clubs, doing the adult clubs, doing all of that. Substances, all of that, those
Right,
things. We come on, man. We're not going. Everybody needs to get off a high horse when they start judging certain things about people, and in particular young people. We often forget the older we get, and I'm gonna close on this before we get to the draft, man. The older we get so distant from our youth, we forget. I mean, there's a lot of things I could have been just now getting out on. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Just now getting out, just for small stuff like possession.
right,
you know,
right.
possession. That can get you hemmed up for a little while. It's just it's stupid. It's stupid to sit here and be the adult and judge the child or the young person in a position in a place where you weren't in that position. Now you can teach from a
Yeah,
place where I know the consequences or I learn the consequences and give an advisory. But when you start wagging the finger, that's when it becomes a problem. I'm like,
right.
hold on now, put yourself in that position because you've been in that position. All of us ain't saints, and all of
Yeah.
us did something. Even if you weren't dealing with this thing or doing what Kamani did, as far as just putting it on the phone and being in the club smoking marijuana, I'm pretty sure a lot of folks have smoked marijuana before in their life, at
A
least
lot of doing it
once.
now too. So
A lot more doing it now, but a lot of folks did it and don't want to talk about it because everybody's a saint, you know.
yep.
Especially when you get older. Oh no, I ain't never do nothing like that. Yeah, sure you did. But we gonna go on to get into this draft, man. We
All
did
right.
for our listeners. You go ahead and tap in and inform, man, because we got it, and I can put it up there, and you go
All right.
ahead and guide us through.
So what we did was we did a 2 round mock draft. We did include trades. Um, Damien had the odd. I had the even. We got it pulled up here for you. We're just gonna give. We're not gonna necessarily break down the trade. We're just gonna say they traded up. But we're just gonna give a quick brief reasoning behind the moves we made. So you go ahead and jump it off, Damien.
All right, I went. This don't have to be long. I went chalk. I went with Caleb Williams at quarterback. It's a need a position. They have that spot. They already traded Fields. It's the obvious pick. That's it. Moving on to the next.
All right. So what I did was I came up with the Minnesota Vikings with all the talks going on with Washington and Jaden Daniels may not want to go there and them bringing all those 5 quarterbacks on. What I did was I traded up with um, the Vikings. I traded up with the Commanders and I took Drake May. He's a quarterback that can sit a few games behind Sam Darnold.
Mhm.
With the weapons he has, I think a lot of his issues is inconsistency and him putting the cape on. But with the weapons that Minnesota is offering, I don't in the offensive line, he shouldn't have to do much.
Yeah. With third pick, I went Jaden Daniels. It's a new regime, new coaching staff. Uh, they looking to go in a new direction with the way they draft, even the way they're presenting their offense, their system, all of that. I think he would fit perfect for what they're trying to do, or where the area they're trying to go. Young quarterback, athletic quarterback, so it's going to allow them a little bit more movement around the pocket. I'm not necessarily thinking he has to be day one starter. He may
They
come
got
in
per se.
yeah, so mid season. I could see him probably
Mm-hmm.
taking over, getting some snaps mid season. Perfect fit for him there.
Number 4, I took Marvin Harrison Jr. Pound for pound, I think he's the best wide receiver, pro ready,
Hmm.
pedigree, and everything. I mean, I think that's enough with him.
Hmm.
Kyler Murray be definitely happy to have him.
Um, with the fifth pick, I know that with them losing two wide receivers, you would think here they go with another wide receiver back to back, but you cannot you cannot overlook that left tackle position. You know, they're good on the right side. Tackle is a high level position, high paid position. You need to protect your quarterback, which they still have a franchise quarterback. It fits perfect. Wide receiver deep draft, you need to go get the tackle first. So that's why I took Joe Alt.
So with the Giants, they need playmakers. I gotta admit, if I'm Malik Neighbors, I don't know that I want to go there with Daniel Jones as my quarterback. But
Yeah,
they struck gold when they hit with OBJ out of
yeah,
LSU, so they go back and get baby Jamar Chase.
yeah. And Malik Neighbors. Um,
Mhm.
this is similar situation. A young team going through uh with the Titans going through transition, coaching change, things like that. They got a lot of holes to fill. You do have I mean, they've drafted quarterback back to back, so you got to stick with one. They're going with Levis, so you got to give him either some weapons or protection. It's the same thing. Let's get him protection first. So they went with Fashanu out of Penn State.
First pick for the Washington Commanders, I go Dallas Turner, edge, Alabama. They got rid of Sweat. They got rid of Chase Young.
Mhm,
The players that they brought in are more rotational guys. Dallas
mhm.
Turner, I think, one of the top edges in the game. Perfect for Dan Quinn's defense.
Followed up with another edge by the Bears sitting there. I know may shock some folks that another name didn't go at this position, but they chose Latu. I'm looking for the fit in the system that they're trying to go with, and I think he'll be a better fit for where they want to go there. That's why I chose Latu.
Oh, I forgot to say I traded up
Yeah,
from
I see. From
my
8 to
bad.
11. Yeah,
Yeah.
Washington traded. Yeah.
So at 10, the Jets, Roma Dunze. You're going to get Aaron Rodgers, surround him with as many weapons as possible.
Hmm.
Whoever the quarterback is of the future will have Garrett Wilson and Roma Dunze to be able to throw the ball to. So you set yourself up for the future as well as the present.
Perfect. Um, well, with that trade that you made, Atlanta gained picks and still got the guy they would have most likely taken at 8 in Jared Verse. It's already a strong defense that they have. He gives them another pass rusher. It's a perfect fit.
All right, pick number 12, Cincinnati Bengals traded up. They need a tight end. Could
Hmm.
possibly lose T. Higgins next year. He said he's okay with playing now on the franchise tag. But either way,
Hmm.
you surround. They picked up offensive line in the free agency. Cincinnati, ferocious offense now. Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia.
Signing out of Georgia. It's a good pick. Very interesting pick that I took here. It is a position of need. To give opposite what's his name? Is it Hobbs? Who they got the
Yeah,
other cornerback?
yeah,
Yeah, Hobbs, I
Hobbs,
believe. Yeah.
Hobbs.
Tyrion Arnold gives them helps to start building the secondary with what they already have. They did draft what's it they also had Powell and then what's his name Smith out of Georgia that they took
Mm-hmm.
last year too. So they continue to strengthen that secondary. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I mean, they could have went anywhere with any of the quarterback corners. I would have looked Tyrion, Kool-Aid, or Nate, and Tyrion kind of
Yeah.
fits where they want to go.
So for the Saints, I took J.C. Latham. They need a tackle. Ryan Ramsey, don't know what's
Mm.
going on with his knees if he'll even play at right tackle. And Nate Penning, with that injury, I think that the pick they had out of Northern Iowa. He's kind of been he struggled, but at
Hmm.
least he gets you some depth. So J.C. Latham is a position of need, really good player as well.
Same here with the Colts, man. Position of need. I think he'll slide in and fit like a glove. He can give you man coverage, man to man. Uh, Fit in the schemes that they want. His zone scheme too, right? I think he's solid in that too. So he's a good all around corner. Quinion Mitchell, perfect fit for them. Just best player on the board at that point for them to
Right.
take at that point in the draft.
So I got the Seattle Seahawks, Talise Fuaga,
Hmm.
Oregon State. He's more of a guard. That's really what they need. And with what they have in their backfield, that should be really, really good in a tough division of the NFC West. So they're gonna be able to ground and pound.
Awesome. With Jacksonville, so many needs. They shored up some things in the interior of the offensive line. So I would say that they would look on the defensive side of the ball to continue to try to strengthen that defense. I know they they re-signed the defensive end to help the pass rush,
Josh
but
Allen.
yeah, Josh Allen. But to continue to strengthen that secondary, which needs help, they took Kool-Aid at that position.
All right, and San Francisco traded up to take Amarius Mims out of Georgia. Worst case scenario, he plays on the right, but he does get to learn from Trent Williams,
Mhm.
who
Perfect fit.
is getting up there in age. You have all of the skill positions that you need, so you're going to need to retool that offensive line. I think that's a perfect fit
Yeah,
for them and what they want to do at San Fran.
yeah. Well, here we have the Los Angeles Rams. Your older aging team. You have certain holes, but none bigger than the hole that just got hit a few months ago with Aaron Donald's retirement. So you're not saying this is Aaron Donald, but you have to fill that position with a younger body on a rookie contract, first round projected pick, still projected as the top defensive tackle in the
Right.
draft right now. You take Johnny Newton out of Illinois.
And he can play up and down the line too.
And he can mix, yeah, he can move up
So
and down
that's
the line.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have another trade. You're gonna see that D was over here trading left and right.
Yeah,
Kansas City is traded up. Everyone knows what's going on with Rasheed Rice. They trade up, take Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU.
Excellent. Okay. For those of you who see that Dallas at 21 instead of at 24, yes, they traded with Miami. And the reason they made this trade is the question that we've been asking in conversation. Do you kick Smith out to replace Tyron Smith, or do you keep him at guard? Troy Fatantanu allows you to have that versatility because he can play either or. So if you kick Smith out to tackle, you can slide him to guard. Or if you want to keep Smith at guard, you can keep him at left tackle. It gives you the versatility that you need. That's why the Cowboys take him at that position.
Yeah, I like that pickup. Jackson Power Johnson to the Eagles. Simply said, just like with the Rams, Jason Kelsey retires. They re-signed all their offensive linemen. Pretty much, they re-signed. I know, bro, you can't stand it. They re-signed Devontae Smith too. All the players that they brought in. Jackson Powers Johnson just keeps their offensive line anchored for the next 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Washington. This is simple need, fill need. He gives you versatility. He can play corner. He can play safety. Uh, Also depending on the injury and how he returns as far as the return game.
Right.
It allows that also. I had a little blackout. I don't know what happened there. It was maybe a little technical problem, but it's fine. Everything seems good. But Cooper DeJean, safety out of Iowa.
And for the Dolphins, who traded back, we're going Graham Barton. Can play center, guard, or tackle. They have holes everywhere on their offensive line.
Okay. Green Bay, easy pick. He's a little lightweight, but fit the system. They can add just a couple pounds on him. Be a perfect lockdown. He fills a position of need. And who's the cornerback that they had?
Alexander.
Yeah, Alexander. Perfect fit right there, Nate Wiggins.
All right, Tampa Bay, they love their edge rushers. They've released Shaq Barrett, Chop Robinson, Penn State.
Excellent. Cardinals, same thing, position of need, defensive tackle, Byron Murphy fills a position of need that they need.
All right, Washington has traded back up into the first round, and now they've taken their quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. You watch the way he throws the ball with the talent that they have offensively. Washington has a ton of holes, and in this first round, I think they filled a good majority of those holes, especially the important positions as edge and quarterback.
Okay. Well, with Dallas, this is interesting. Traded again. Gave up a little bit to move. Yeah, traded up. I took this as a position in need. Because it is. I mean, with the retirement of what they call him, the Wolf out of Boise.
Wolf Hunter.
Yeah. Wolf Hunter. I know his name is just a long
Leighton
name.
Vander Esch.
Leighton Vander Esch. Yeah. They needed a position. This position filled. I was trying to determine whether to do defensive tackle. Would they go defensive tackle again? But I figured, okay, they're gonna give Mozzie keep development. There's no need to push the envelope. Plus, the two defensive tackles that would be ahead of him are still, are off the board. So you go with your next needed position, which was linebacker to fill that role, and they took Adrian Cooper out of Texas A&M, which seems like a Jerry type pick.
So for the Baltimore Ravens, you lose 3 of your starting offensive linemen. You got to start replacing them. Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, he can play right or left. He'll probably start at right, but Ronnie Stanley stays hurt, so he might be end up playing left too.
And here at 31, long story short, we discussed it. They traded back, accumulated more picks, and still got the quarterback that a lot of experts have been projecting to take, and that's JJ McCarthy.
And for the Pittsburgh Steelers, after they've traded back, they go Adonai Mitchell. They have now 2 freakish athletes, both 6'4", both 4'3s, both crazy catch radius. You're building around whoever your quarterback's going to be. And if it's not Russ for the future, Justin Fields, he's got weapons.
He's got weapons.
All
right.
So,
and that will
off to the second round.
Conclude the first round, we move on to the second round. No brainer here. They did some things to shore up some struggles that they had on the offensive line. They got to get Young some help, some weapons. And with that, I mean their best receiver last year was with Thielen. Yeah, Adam Thielen. So they go with a name that they're familiar with in the area from South Carolina, Xavier Leggett, big body wide receiver with some decent speed. Country boy that's gonna put his head down and go to work.
For the Patriots, they need offensive line. They took their quarterback in the first round. We're going Kingsley Suamataia, offensive tackle out of BYU.
We go back to the Cardinals, who are just drafting based on need, best available. Once again, the draft is being solid. They take TJ Tampa, solid corner out of Iowa State. It allows them to be flexible on their defense and what he can do. TJ Tampa.
So the Bills are on the clock for the first time after trading back with Washington, and they go Jalen Polk. I think he is a good route runner, and that's somebody that Josh Allen needs. Josh, you lost Diggs, who is the route runner. You lost your deep threat with Gabe Davis as well. They picked up Curtis Samuel. So Jalen Polk is somebody that I think they can come in and get busy.
Okay. Well, we both know that both receivers, Mike Williams and
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen are no longer there. I think you get yourself a Mike Williams type receiver here at this point in the draft. You're still a fringe first round, early second round type receiver. Keon Coleman be a good fit. He already has an established quarterback that's got a big arm. He'll be able to demonstrate that 22 mile per hour deep speed that he demonstrated in the combine. Perfect fit. Big body, can be a red zone target or give you some over the middle things too.
All right, the Giants, they trade up. Excuse me. I'm not a fan of this pick, but they're a fan of this guy. Bo Nix, they think that he can beat Josh Allen, but he has a serious weapon with Malik Neighbors. They say he gets the ball out of his hands quick. I'm not a fan of the guy, but I drafted here with what I think the Giants would do. Bo Nix, quarterback out of Oregon.
And Panthers added, as I said earlier, in the 33rd with the 33rd pick. They had some interior improvements through free agency, but now they get a little younger and they get one of the better centers in the draft off the board, Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Continue to protect. Weapons and protection is what they need on offense right now.
So the Atlanta Falcons, I went Darius Robinson, pairing him with Jared Verse, young. That's what Raheem Morris wants to do. He wants to get after the quarterback. They went offense through the whole offseason. They're going to beef up that defense now.
Green Bay, interesting right here. Every draft that I've done or have done up to this point, mock draft, I can't separate this guy from this franchise. Everything about him fits their scheme, their system. the city, the franchise, Peyton Wilson, NC State. He kind of screams that he screams Green Bay, man.
He
I like him
definitely
there.
screams Green Bay. He definitely
Yeah.
screams Green Bay. The Texans, first time on the clock, we're going Max Melton, need a cornerback to pair with Derek Stingley. Max
Mhm.
Melton put on a show at the combine. Versatility, speed, length, easy enough. Corner out of Rutgers.
Falcons, they stay defense again. They're gonna have the Grits Blitz is back, baby. They're gonna have one of the better young defenses in the league. You add Tyler Nubin to that gives you a position of need. You got Terrell at corner. Who's the opposite corner with Terrell? I know they got their personnel is on the defensive side is good, but I took Tyler Nubin because he can come down and play the box. He can cover a little bit of a hawk too. Perfect fit for that scheme. They just stick in defense right now. That's why I
I
took
can't
him.
think of who their other corner is.
Yeah, I can't either. I knew Terrell, but you got one of the better young corners in the league.
Right,
So
right.
yeah.
So for pick 44, the Raiders, they go Jordan Morgan. They need offensive line. They're going to protect whoever their quarterback is.
hmm I went Christian Haynes, UConn, at guard for the Saints. Same thing, man. It's just a situation where they need to continue to build that offensive line. Aging team, a lot of high contracts. They need that.
So for the Colts, I want Ricky Pearsall. They need wide receiver. They don't. It's not a big need, but
hmm
Pearsall, he can get open. He can run routes. He has, and he's played with Anthony Richardson before, so he doesn't have to come in and be the guy. He can come in and be a guy. Our third wide receiver, he can battle it out with Alec,
Yeah.
and we'll see. We'll see how that works. But you get Anthony Richardson, someone he's played with at least, someone he has some bit of familiarity with.
Okay, with the Titans, we discussed this real quick, man. The only reason that Worthy isn't drafted higher is the size, and it's the
Yes,
questions that we have. 4.240 in the combine's fine, decent football speed. I mean, as far as when you see it on the field, translating, it's there. You just 165 pounds. I'm like, I mean, names would be thrown out there like Devontae Smith, but Devontae Smith stands at 6'1", at
right.
least 6'1". Xavier's not 6'1". He's not 6'4". I think he's like what, 5'11", maybe.
I think, but not only that, Devontae Smith, he was known for making all
Tough
hands
catches.
catches.
Yeah.
Like he was known
Tough
for being a
catches.
wide receiver.
Yeah.
Xavier's known for just his speed, really.
Yeah.
So,
Devontae's a better route runner. So, but
right.
in this position, as we discussed, you still got D Hop and you got Calvin.
Ridley.
So it allows you to. It's no pressure on Worthy to play that 3 in that slot and be able to
It
take the
allows
pop.
him to run deep.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
allows
it
him to run
allows him to
deep.
run deep.
It allows Levis to show off his arm.
Right.
Out throwing, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why I took him. I was like, it's a perfect weapon right there.
So Jacksonville, I took Rook Arohoro, D tackle from Clemson. They're going to continue to try to beef up their defensive front as well. They lost some players. It's time. It's a position of need, solid player, and they love Clemson players.
And with that, Denver takes Chris Jenkins, defensive tackle, Michigan. The bloodline, the pedigree is there. He's going to be able to stop the run gap stopper. He can also get to the quarterback a little bit. Seeing that at Michigan, he can get to the quarterback, but he also can plug a hole. Just fits what they. It's just a need that needs to be filled, and I filled it with him.
Yeah, so for the Eagles, I go legacy here, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I feel like he's going to end up there at Pittsburgh, to be honest with you. I feel like he's going to be there. It'd be shocking to see if he ended up in Dallas or, in the NFC East in general.
Yeah.
But it's a position of need. The kid can play. They know who his dad is. People in that organization have watched this kid grow up. So it just seems like the perfect story.
Patrick Paul, Pittsburgh. What is he? 6'7", 331. You continue to get big on that offensive line. Continue to try to get physical. Because, I mean, I know they got their size now. They got their receivers with speed, big body. You got that big tight end at 6'7", along with, was it Freiermuth at tight end? So you got 2 tight ends. You got your 2 receivers. You got your physical running game. You just add another lineman that helps grade the road, pave the way.
Right.
That's why I took Patrick Paul.
Pick 52 for the Rams. I took Enos Rakestraw Jr. They need a corner. The guy gets his hands on the ball, didn't run the best 40, very lengthy. I think he fits perfectly with him.
All right, this was a little bit of a comedic pickup. I mean, Georgia's on the board, Eagles there, Georgia's off the board. Kamari Lassiter, it's a position of need to build depth. So he'll come in and be a depth player. He does not have to be a starter, day one starter. He can work in and be your fourth or fifth corner off, play your special teams, also contribute a little bit in the nickel and dime packages. And he played for Georgia. I feel he loves
Right.
Georgia. So
So I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I went Lad McConkey. The reason I went is not only does he make big time catches, he knows how to run routes, and he will be with two route running extraordinaires in Jerry Jeudy and Amari Cooper. That three weapon wide receiver. Then they still have David Njoku. This also helps keep the punishment off of Chubb coming back from a serious injury.
hmm well, one of the hottest names in the combine, streaming up the draft boards. Some may see this and say why he didn't go a little higher. But I think where he went, this is a perfect fit. It's a fit of need with them losing with Christian Wilkins. You getting a guy that not only has good, strong technique, the weaknesses that he has can be improved. And what he has is two things that you can't teach. That's motor and effort. And and coming up when the time in the big games he showed up, and it's a lot of things that are hitting on camera and lets you know what you're looking for and what he can do and what he'll bring to the Dolphins. Perfect fit. Braden Fisk, Florida State.
So 56 with the Lions, I went Adisa Isaac, edge out of Penn State. I think with what they brought in with DJ Reader at tackle, you still have Aiden Hutchinson, McNeil as the other one, defensive tackle. Having a great player with a great motor, opposite side who understands his role. We're not bringing him in to be our number one guy. We're coming in for him to be playing mop up duty, and let's have a party at the quarterback. So I think that's a good pickup there.
Same here. It's still some things that they need to do to be able to create consistency in their pass and run protection. I mean, pass protection and run game. Cedric Brent Prime Granger. Now you add that name, that last name onto it. I think he gives him, because coming out of Georgia, he's gonna have a mentality to push the pile, basically run the ball.
Right.
That's something that Tampa needs to consider. They're continually trying to build their running game. So I think he can add to that and being able to help them pave the way.
So 58, I went with the Green Bay Packers. Cameron Kitchens can get his hands on the ball. Didn't have the best 40, but plays a lot faster than his 40 time. Him and Xavier McKinney. Now with Peyton Wilson, Nate Wiggins, Jair Alexander, you really just rebuilt this whole defense with this young offense. So this team looks terrifying in the NFC.
Yeah. Probably like your Baltimore of the NFC. That's what I kind of say on defense.
Right.
Yeah. With the Texans, rich gets richer. They took Trayvon Wallace out of Kentucky. A little bit more. He can lateral movement, cover linebacker, can move around, tackle downhill. Of course, he did play behind one of the best defensive tackles in next year's draft. But he fits what they need. He can be a depth piece because he does not have to come in and be the man. I mean, this is a team that's stacked. It's one of them situations like I mentioned about what was it? Lassiter. He doesn't have to come in and be a day one guy. You adding to the pot instead of having to stir it. They can allow him to continue to develop and learn the NFL game and get and fit into the system and get better. That's why I took it.
So the Buffalo Bills, I go Devontae Walker out of North Carolina. I think with his size, his speed, you went and got Jalen Polk, who's the route runner. Now Devontae can be your number one wide receiver. He can definitely come in and ball out for you.
Okay. Attitude here. Cooper BB. Open holes. They like to run the ball. They're going to be physical downhill. This gives you more depth on the offensive line. I think they did have some problems late in the season with health on the line.
Yes.
with
And they lost
injuries.
one of their guards.
Yeah, and they lost one of the guards, so he feels a great actual need,
Yeah.
and same attitude. Continue to try to run the football, establish the ground game, and keep it moving.
Baltimore Ravens, I go Malachi Corley. I think he is, and we've seen this before, he is almost, I won't say identical. He reminds you of Steve Smith. He reminds Steve Smith of Steve Smith.
Steve Smith.
So
Yeah.
Steve Smith played with Baltimore. This gives you that mentality, another dog. We know what the offensive coordinator wants to try to throw the ball a lot more now. They do have Derrick Henry. So you're beefing up that front, spreading them out, letting that big Mack truck run downhill.
With Denver here, you got your quarterback, you got your defensive tackle. You got to get your quarterback a weapon. You traded out and you lost Jerry Judy. Excuse me. Great name to fill right here is Troy Franklin. He gives you good balance of speed and route running, decent. He can get you a little bit over the top. He's decent, a little bit more polish needed
Yeah.
in what he doing. He's not going to be the polished route runner that Judy is, but he can give you a little bit more of the balance. He can do a little bit
Right.
of everything that you're going to need to move that. He can short passes, deep pass, whatever you need over the middle. That's why he's a good fit right there. Just a good blanket kind of wide receiver.
And the final pick of the second round, I go with the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tanner Bortoloni. He had a hell of a combine. They need a center. They're beefing up that offensive line. Him, Patrick Paul, Broderick Jones from last year. I like what the Steelers are doing right now.
Yeah, they just
I like what
rebuilt
they're
their
doing.
offensive line in the single draft. And that concludes our just 2 rounds. We did include trades in this, man. I enjoyed it though, man.
I did too.
I enjoyed it. Y'all make sure that y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe uh to the show. We did our 2 round mock draft. Make sure y'all check in with D's Corner. Um, we got no nonsense coming down the pipe. That's gonna D's Recruit Talk. We're gonna be touching. We got some things coming down the line that we just waiting to see and waiting for things to happen. Trying to make some moves here. Y'all just continue to bear with us. Even if you don't watch the whole video, I said, please just hit the like button, get us some traction. We're still trying to move, we're still working, still trying to improve
Absolutely.
everything. If you leave anything in the comments, leave positive, negative, whatever it is, just be honest. Tell us some things you like to see us work on. Some areas you like to see us touch on. Any of those things, pause. Make sure I throw that out
No
there.
Diddy, no
No
Diddy.
Diddy, no Diddy, no Diddy. But we really enjoyed those who take the chance to take a view and listen to us. Continue to stay with us and watch us work. This is
Absolutely.
D. This is Deshaun. This is D of D's Corner, and we really appreciate y'all. Peace out, and y'all have a wonderful weekend.